Attention fragmentation is the worst it has ever been. We are distracted, we are scattered, we are pulled in 1,000 different directions, and if we don't fix this, we are fucked as workers, as learners, and as humans. Now, your first step on this journey to fixing your attention span is giving this video your full attention. Okay, you're not going to put it on 2x speed, you're not going to scroll in the comments, you're not going to get a notification and wander off that way. You are going to give this video your full attention. Before we get into actually how to improve your attention span, we first have to address the problem. Okay, now what is destroying your attention? What is destroying your focus? What is distracting you? I think we all know the answer. Okay, social media, your phone. Okay, our phone is truly distracting us. Okay, now I like to reference this book. Okay, I just got this book. I just got Deep Work by Cal Newport. Now I'm just gonna give you, I just started reading it. So he talks about, right, being focused and how to stay focused in such a distracted world, right? So to understand the problem, okay, he addresses this problem more as emails. Now, I know not many of us use email that much. We don't really respond to emails, but he uses that setting, and also he talks about social media. So he noticed that when you don't have a social media presence, when you don't have notifications buzzing on your phone, when you don't have to check your Gmail and respond to your Gmail, that when you have just get work done and just stay focused on a simple task, then you have a much better, more productive session. You get the work done quicker, you get the work done more efficiently, and you get the work done better. Okay, now when you have, I don't know, social media notification, you have your notifications on, you have your Gmail, you start working on this, you start reading this book, and then you get switched to this task, and then you do this task, and your attention is everywhere. That is when the problem arises. Okay, so the most practical advice I could give to kill this problem is turning off notifications, or just really getting your phone out of the way when you are working. Okay, because a lot of the time we have our phone in our pocket, we have our phone on our desk, we have our phone right next to us, and we get a notification and we're there, we're on our phone. Or we're bored and we want a little break, and then we scroll on TikTok. Okay, so to kill the trigger, it sounds so simple. Go charge your phone in another room. Go put your phone in another room. Go set a timer and be like, okay, for an hour, I'm not going to use my phone. And just doing that, just setting a timer, that simple little thing, just like an hour of just deep work, okay, an hour of no distraction work, close your door and just put your phone on do not disturb if you need your phone for work, and just focus in and lock in. And if it's too hard for you, then put your phone into another room. As simple as that. Okay, we have to kill the trigger first, because without killing the trigger, I like to use this analogy. Imagine I wanted to quit cigarettes, but I had a cigarette in my mouth at all times and I had a lighter in the other hand, right? How am I gonna do that when it's so tempting that I have a cigarette in my mouth, okay? I can't, right? It's gonna be too hard, right? So just removing the distraction, removing the trigger helps significantly. Now that we understand that problem, we probably already knew that. We knew our phones were a distraction, but I want to go a little bit deeper into another problem that you probably have not considered, and it is holding you back in terms of focus, okay? So for me, personally, right, I used to do instant gratification habits, okay? There's a difference, so I want to explain instant gratification habits and delayed gratification habits in terms of focus, okay? A lot of people understand it like with dopamine in the brain. I'll get into that as well with dopamine, and a lot of people understand it with just motivation, with drive. If you don't worry, I'll get into it. So right, let's just talk about instantly gratifying habits and delayed gratification habits. So a lot on our phone, right? When we're on our phone, we're scrolling on social media, we get that notification, we are getting in that instant gratification habits. Let's say we're scrolling on TikTok, we're scrolling on Instagram, that is instantly gratifying us. Okay, now how does that make sense? Why? Right, so we're doing very little reward, we're moving our thumb, we're doing very little action, okay, we're producing very little energy, and our brain is getting a lot of reward. Okay, why is our brain getting a lot of reward? It's because of that dopamine. It's because of that dopamine spike. Okay, what is dopamine? Dopamine is our brain's motivation chemical. So when we, or also plays a little bit part of reward, okay? So when we are motivated to do certain things, let's say we're motivated to scroll on social media, right? And we're motivated to scroll and keep scrolling, okay? That is dopamine, and dopamine is running in our brain. Our brain loves that, and our brain gets a lot of reward for that, for producing little energy. Our brain loves doing that. However, we know it's bad for us, our brain does not know. Our brain does not know that. So instant gratification habits, we get that, produce a little energy, and our brain gets a lot of reward. Now, our brain sees that as a good thing. We know it's not a good thing because it's addictive, habit, bad dopamine, whatever. Okay? What we want to replace it with, now I'm going to relate this all to focus and deep work very soon. So pay attention, all right? We want to replace those instant gratification habits with delayed gratification habits. Okay, so delayed gratification habits, we have a lot of energy. It takes a lot to get that reward. Okay, I like to bring this example. Imagine you're going to the gym, right? The gym is a perfect example of a delayed gratification habit. Now, why? When you do a bicep curl, right? You do one bicep curl, do you grow massive biceps after one bicep curl? No. It takes hundreds, thousands of bicep curls to grow massive biceps. And then after those thousands of bicep curls and you finally have the massive biceps, your brain's getting that reward. Or you get a nice pump after a really hard 1 hour gym workout and you get that reward. So it's the difference between you spend 1 hour in the gym and then get the reward at the end, or you spend 1 second looking at your phone and you get that reward. That's the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. Now, how does this relate to attention fragmentation, your attention span? Let me get into it. Okay, so these instant gratification habits, whether it's, again, scrolling on TikTok, it could even be related to eating junk food. It could even be, I don't know, vaping, smoking, drinking, anything like that. Those are all instant gratification habits. Now, this trains our brain to pretty much only crave those habits and stop with these delayed gratification habits. So when we try to focus in on work, think of focusing in and working on a certain task or learning or reading or something like that, something delayed gratification. It's a delayed gratification habit. When let's say you have schoolwork and you're trying to do your homework or something like that. Just an example, you're trying to do your homework, and then you finally finish it and you get that reward. When you finally finish, like, oh, I'm done, it's great, I checked it over, it's great. You get that reward when you finished it, right? 20 minutes, let's say. But when you scroll, you instantly get that reward. Again, I'm repeating myself. However, the thing is, every time you do these instant gratification habits, it's training your brain to only expect you getting gratification instantly and not the slow, gratifying way. And these habits pretty much drain our focus because our brain does not give a shit about completing homework or completing this task because we could get instant gratification from our phone. So why would our brain want to produce all this effort in completing this task when we could just go on our phone and just look at our phone and get a few dopamine hits by scrolling? We don't give a shit. Our brain does not give a shit. And that is the problem. That's when you need to realize consciously, you're like, okay, I understand. I need to cut out these instant gratification habits and enforce these delayed gratification habits. Now, back to the attention fragmentation. Because, of course, it's hard because we live in such a distractive world where, oh, but those guys are going to a party. Oh, I want to go to that party. Oh, this guy's, or my friend just sent me a TikTok. Oh, I want to watch that TikTok. And so it begins to get so distracting where it's actually a very negative loop where it's like, okay, we get distracted by our phone, but also there are certain ways that we can use our phone for good. Like, I'm recording this video on my phone right now, but what am I doing? I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. So turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. Let's say you don't even have discipline enough. Again, it circles back to then putting your phone into the other room. And just write down everything you get distracted by. Write down all those instant gratification habits. Write it down right now. This is your actionable step. Right? If you made it this far into the video, you better do this, okay? Write down everything you get distracted by during the day. Write down everything that, is every instant gratification habit you have, and we're going to cut those out. Cut out that distraction. Cut out that instant gratification habit, and then replace it for this work. Replace it for this deep work. Replace it for going to the gym. And then that's how we're going to craft our routine and craft our work schedule to have the best focus and to have no longer a problem with our attention span.